So for recreation, what did you used to do after you started working?
Well, belonged to the pool. It was a very nice place. They call it Castle Hill, and it was in the East Bronx. And we used to go there. We had friends there. We played tennis. We swam in the wintertime. We ice skated. There was all kinds of recreation there. We played tennis, and there was a cafeteria where you met and you socialized with everyone there. And you either bring your own lunch or you could buy something there. And it was a beautiful place. I belonged there for 7 years.
Were the people that went there all Jewish?
I don't really recall that. Everybody went there. It was a very popular place.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a lot of people who liked handball. There was a lot of courts there, and the tennis courts. And I told you, a swimming pool. In the wintertime, the swimming pool used to freeze and we used to ice skate.
What was your favorite thing to do? Or did
everything.
Everything.
Yeah, tennis, and played a lot of tennis. And ping pong. At ping pong tables. I was very athletic at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never played a sport in high school or anything?
In high school, no, I never participated. I wasn't much in high school here. You know, we only spent maybe 2 years in high school.
And then you graduated?
Yeah. I never actually didn't graduate. I left before I graduated because I was already 17, I think. And by 18, I went to work already.
Oh, wow. So you never got your high school diploma?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
And for summers, you said during the summers you guys
during
used
the
to
summers,
go away?
we had a lot of friends. We used to go to these places in the Catskills. And then we went to this place. There's a lot of places in the Catskills that were summer resorts that people, all practically Jewish people used to go there vacationing. It was a beautiful place. And then we went to this other place that is not in the Catskills where I met Grandpa. That was in Connecticut. It was a place that actually I think was run by a union. Because Grandpa was in the union, he was very active in the union. And we went there, and that's where I met him. It was also very nice. It was during the winter. It was a winter vacation. It was very nice there. And we met, and after that, kept going.
Do you remember the circumstances in which you met? Were there was it a dance or?
It was just a social place where people met and talked. And after your outdoor activities and everything else, we sat around there. And somehow we hit it off.
Do you remember if he approached you or if you started talking to him?
I guess we approached each other.
And when you came back, did you guys start dating or? Yes,
he lived not far from where we lived, only a couple of blocks away, about like one station away. And his parents lived there with him. He lived with his parents, and we started dating.
How old were you?
I was about 25 then.
And how long did you guys date before you got married?
Well, about 6 months, I think. Yeah.
Where did you guys get married?
We got married in a place on Tremont Avenue. Not far from my house, we had a place upstairs. We had somebody marry us, and we had a reception there for a lot of people, and the family and friends. And that was it.
Yeah. Do you remember how many people attended?
I would say about 60 or maybe more, around that figure, 70.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Were they mostly from your family, or?
They were from both families. They were friends, neighbors, whoever that you liked. Mostly family, both sides.
What did you, when you were a young couple, was there anything you guys really liked to do?
Well, actually, I was working, he was working, and we had an apartment on on Rice Avenue. We moved there, and after a year and a half, Diane was born. I had to stop working, take care of baby. And then 3 years later, Laura came, and it was pleasant. We had Banks Park not far away, so we used to walk to it. And it was a very nice park, all kinds of animals. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Mm-mm.
The Bronx Park is very well known in the Bronx. It has every animal that you can think of in the world, with poodles and giraffes, and it's a very famous place.
Mm-hmm.
And we were only about 3-4 blocks away from it, so we used to walk there. And it was nice. It was interesting until we moved to another part of the Bronx, which is supposed to be a little bit more sophisticated. And we lived there until Diane was about 9, then we moved to Queens.
Why did you guys move to the other part of the Bronx?
Because it was nicer there. It was a better neighborhood, you know. It was an advance.
Mm-hmm.
After we got married, actually, we moved there.
Yeah.
And we missed the Bronx Park. It wasn't as close as before, but once in a while we used to get to it.
How did it change for you being a mom? Did the world seem different?
I always wanted it. I always was family conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was very nice. Until we moved to Queens when Diane was about 9. We moved here because we needed 2 bedrooms, and this area was building up from scratch. There was nothing but empty lots here before they started building. And this was in 1952. And we're here since then.
So before there were buildings here, what was it?
Nothing. Empty lots, empty places. Across the street was Southridge. Was all empty too. And it had some private houses a few blocks away from Northern Boulevard. But Northern Boulevard area was all 4 blocks with nothing but empty lots.
Mm-hmm.
And across the street too, where Southridge is, it was all empty. 4 different blocks, all empty lots. And then after about a year after we started building, they started building. And their buildings went up, and then there's a lot of mostly Jewish people moved in.
Do you remember how much?
The rent was?
Yeah, or did you? Yeah.
You paid $74 then when you moved here, with a down payment of about $180.
180 what?
Dollars.
And you paid $74 a month?
Yeah.
Did you own it back then? Or did you
Well,
rent
it was you owned the apartment.
Yeah.
You were part of the co-op.
Uh-huh.
And now it's worth quite a bit more.
So, that you never, do you know how much you paid on the building total?
Well, after all the years,
Yeah.
you have to add it up. Who remembers like that? And the rent kept going up and up from 74 to now it's 500 and something. We just got an increase. We just got an increase of 10%. So it's almost 550 now.
Wow. And do you pay separate assessment, or you just pay your rent?
Just the rent.
Okay. And taxes and stuff?
Taxes is something else. It's income tax.
You don't pay property tax?
It goes on the income tax.
Okay. And how come you guys decided to move from the Bronx to Queens?
Because they were building here. New buildings were going up and they were accessible.
Okay. And you had an elevator
We
here?
had a car, and sure, there was an elevator there all the time. Yes, it was an advantage, having an apartment with all the rooms you wanted, and the area was nice.
Yeah.
So a lot of people did that. They all came from all over.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx.
Do you remember any good friends that you have or had?
Well, we had lots of friends in the building. We had a mahjong game going, 4 people in different apartments every week. We had that going. And other things too. But of course I was working at the time.
Yeah. How many days would you have when you were not working?
I worked every day except the weekends.
Uh-huh. And would you guys attend shul?
On holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you take Laura and my mom?
Yes, they used to come with us.
Yeah. Did they ever have a bat mitzvah?
No.
No.
No. It's not a bar mitzvah for girls, it's a bat mitzvah.
Bat mitzvah. And then, when did Grandpa stop going to shul at some point?
He never went religiously, only on holidays.
Yeah.
So I went and he went, but he never went on Saturdays.
Yeah. You don't know, but he didn't really go to shul on high holidays.
He went on the high holidays because I went too.
Uh-huh.
Every time I went, he would go, but he wasn't as religious as I was.
Yeah. Was your family religious? Would you celebrate Shabbos in your house growing up?
Yes, always light candles, always observed the Shabbos. Didn't do any work or anything, shopping or anything. My family was from the old timers, old religious.
And so even in Poland, the shoe shop wasn't open on Saturdays?
No.
And did you guys, on Saturdays, did you do work? Would you work here, like after you were married and you had kids?
No working on Saturday.
How about Grandpa?
Grandpa?
Neither?
Didn't work on Saturday. People didn't work on Saturday anyhow. Saturday was not a day for working.
Right.
People didn't work Saturdays, just 5 days a week. At least not us. Maybe people in sales did work on Saturdays, but not us. No, we didn't work on Saturdays.
Yeah. Are you happy with like the Jewish education, that happens here in the United States?
Yeah, I like it.
But do you think that people maintain the same connection to
Well, I don't
Judaism?
know. I don't think as much as it used to be. But of course, there are not so many Jewish people around here now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only 10% in the building that's left from the Jews. Everybody else is either Chinese, Spanish, Portuguese.
You said there's also Indian people living here?
Yes, some Indians.
Yeah. Have you been over to anybody's apartment?
Only my old friends. People that I know from before.
And is there anybody that sticks in your mind? Any old friend that you really
Well,
like?
Yes, I like all the old friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happened to a lot of your friends and people that live in this building?
What happened to them?
Yeah.
They moved out. Some of them passed away, unfortunately. And that's what's left.
Yeah. And are they still over? Do they still go over to the park across the street?
Yes, some do, some don't. Some have other things to do.
Where did you pick up mahjong?
In the building. Everybody played before the mahjong set. As a matter of fact, my mahjong set is now in Laura's house, I think.
Yeah.
Unless she gave it away. I've been playing there for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. We play bridge once a week. We used to play bridge when the grandpa was okay. We used to play bridge at the Jassa too. We had 4 people, 5 people playing bridge. Instead of playing other games, we used to, after we had our exercise, we would sit in the back with a bridge table and we'd play bridge.
Yeah.
Sometimes we had 2 tables to play bridge, but now there's not enough people playing bridge left there.
Yeah.
So we play here at the recreation place.
So you are still playing
Yeah,
once a
we
week?
play on Tuesdays, yeah.
But at some point you played bridge somewhere else, right? At a non-Jewish community center?
Yes, we used to play bridge at, there was a center we used to go to, a Catholic center that we used to go to, and because they had exercise and they had for seniors, so we used to play bridge there too.
And what people, was it only Catholic people?
No, there was a lot of Jewish. We had a group of around that were Jewish.
Would you ever play with non-Jews?
Whoever we have played now with a Chinese woman and a non-Jewish woman.
Yeah.
Whoever wants has no, too many people not going in for bridge now. The youngest set isn't going in for it.
What do they like instead?
I don't know. You tell me. What do you like instead?
Well, yesterday we played spades over at the nursing home when we were with Grandpa.
I know, but do you play that on your leisure?
Yeah. Most people play spades or bid whist.
I thought I heard some noise.
Yeah, that was my phone. You don't have to worry about it.
So you play that?
Yeah.
Where do you play?
You know, you go over, have a card game at a friend's house. You know, get a couple beers and play cards.
Yeah,
you know,
nice.
talk.
That's nice. I didn't know that you do that.
Yeah. You know, once in a while, not often enough.
Yeah.
Maybe once a year or something.
Once a year.
For a birthday.
Well, you cannot count that.
Right.
That's not enough.
We're not real big card players as much. What do you think about all the technology that you've seen?
Well, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think it's very good.
What about like cellular phones?
Well, it's very good. I just don't have one. I don't participate in any of the new computers. It's not my cup of tea.
Were you ever able to drive? Did you ever drive?
I had a license to drive, but I never took to it too well.
Mm-hmm.
I drove for a while, and then I gave it up.
Do you remember what kind of car it was?
Well, it was the grandpa's car.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Which was what?
Which was a Chrysler of some kind.
Yeah. Now, did he, how long did Grandpa work
At Chrysler.
at selling cars?
A long time. He started doing it. I'd say he started doing it just when we moved here in the 50s, 52. And he continued until we retired.
How did he get that job?
He applied for it and he was accepted. He was a salesman.
Did he have any friends there, or?
They advertised for a salesman and he went and applied for it and he got the job.
And do you remember what he sold? Or how?
He sold the cars that Chrysler makes.
But not like parts of the car, just
Complete cars.
Yeah.
It was a car place.
uh-huh.
They had a parking lot and they had a store and they had a whole thing.
Yeah. Did you ever watch him in action? Did you ever see Grandpa
No,
selling a car?
I never went to I went to the place, but I never saw him while he was selling.
Would he sell on the phone from your home at all?
No, only from the place. People come in and you sell. You don't sell from home. It's not maybe today they do, but they didn't in those days.
And not on the phone either, just everything was face to face?
Right. Customer come in and you sell and you make arrangements and You get the details and do all the work.
Uh-huh. What did Grandpa do before that?
He was in the fur business.
And what did he do as a furrier?
But before he was here, but he did some cutting, not any sewing. He worked on the floor mostly.
Was he a worker or manager?
No, a worker.
Uh-huh. And why did he change his profession from a furrier?
He wanted to improve.
Uh-huh.
After he got married, he had a responsibility, and he wanted to do something different.
Now, Grandpa was big in the union, right?
Yeah.
What was his job? Or?
Well, at one time he worked for the union for a while, and after that he got the job at Chrysler.
Uh-huh. Was he? Would you and him go to union meetings and stuff together?
No, he went. They had union meetings for their members, not for non-members. I was not a member of his union. I had my own union.
Right. But his union was also pretty, like, political too, right?
Yeah.
Weren't they pretty leftist?
Yes.
So did he get involved in anything outside of just his job union?
No.
No. And how about your union? What?
My union was good. I mean, it gave us advantages, and we belonged to it, paid our dues. We used to go, if they had any meetings, we used to go to them.
Would they do any stuff around, like, improving people's conditions in New York City outside of the job, or did they only talk about job issues?
The job actions, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever go on strike?
No.
Did Grandpa?
There was a strike at once, but I didn't take too much action in it.
Did you walk a picket line, or no? Do you remember why they went on strike? What it was about?
It was money, I guess. They wanted more money, and the money was not given to them, so they went on strike. And most of the times they won.
Yeah. So that's while you were working. Do you remember how much you made?
I think I started making about $15 a week.
A week.
Yeah.
And what year was this?
And that was in the year of I would say about 39, 38.
What year were you born in?
1915.
Okay. And were your friends also dressmakers?
No, actually no. No, my friends were not dressmakers. But of course I made some friends at work.
Yeah.
But not friends from your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Where would you go to work? Where was your job?
It was in Manhattan. It was in the 30s, around 7th Avenue, 35th Street, 36th Street. It went over to 8th Avenue. Around the same area. It was like a whole... As a matter of fact, I think they don't have it anymore. They used to be the garment industry area. 7th Avenue, 525 7th Avenue. They were all buildings up Broadway. They were all the garment area. But I don't think it's there anymore. I think it moved down to Chinatown now.
Uh-huh. Do you remember what it was like to work? I mean, what was the physical space like where you used to make dresses?
It was very good. We had a nice, especially when I worked with the designer, it was a beautiful room with tables. We used to go around cutting of the garments and sewing, finishing up. It was very pleasant towards the end.
How many ladies worked there?
In that one area, there were only about 2. It was a big area for 2 people. But before that, when I used to do examining, it was a big factory with lots of racks of clothes and sewing machines and all that. But towards the end, it was very pleasant.
And how many, at the end, what was your job called?
Sample maker.
And how long did you work as a sample maker?
Oh, about 5, 6 years.
Why did you stop?
I stopped working. I had children.
Oh, okay. But you did go back to work after...
I went back to work, yeah.
After Laura.
After Laura was... she went to school full time. That's when I went back to work. She must have been around 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to work, and that worked until then, 1960. 1967 or 8. I worked.
So you were like 43, maybe. Did
Oh, no, I'm making a mistake. I worked in 1980.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also as a sample maker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same kind of job.
Wow. And will you also go to Manhattan, or was your job here in Queens?
No. I worked in the garment area. It was in one place only. Everybody worked in that garment area. That's where it was, Manhattan.
What company was it for? Do you remember?
I don't remember the name.
Yeah. And what kind of dresses did you make? For what occasions?
Day dresses.
Uh-huh.
Not evening gowns. They were day dresses.
Yeah. Was there any kind of material that you used to like to work with?
We worked with everything that we had to.
Yeah. Was it synthetic or cotton or everything?
No, it was at that time there was not too much synthetic. It was real stuff.
Uh-huh. Your granddaughter likes to knit.
Yeah. Well, I used to knit, so I guess she must have picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah made me a winter hat.
Yeah, I understand. She's doing a lot of scarves and stuff. Good for her.
And when did you get into art and watercolor painting and other kind of...
That's after I retired. I did most of it.
Yeah.
I went to where we belonged to the Y. We had painting there. And I used to like to paint.
What did you like to paint?
Whatever. We had models there. The models used to sit and we used to paint. Then we used to paint whatever we actually, but mostly that you see was painted in the class where I went to. Some I did on my own. If I wanted to sit down to paint, I would just put something down, a little model, and I'd paint.
Uh-huh. Did you also had human models?
In the classroom, yes, we had real models.
Did you ever paint a nude model?
There was a nude model that we painted, but we tried to cover up a little bit. But we never had a real complete nude model. There were always a little something covering.
Yeah. But even at the YMCA, they did that?
Yeah.
It wasn't like against their policy or anything?
Well, we had a painting class, and the leader, whatever she decided, was this.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't do anything that was not in the rules. That's where I started, actually, the painting.
And did you continue? Did you ever bring your book and paints to, like, when you and Grandpa went on vacation or anything?
No, not on vacation. We had other things to do.
Where are some of the... Did you remember a favorite vacation that you and Grandpa took?
Well, the Catskills were the place that we used to like to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Had all kinds of hotels there, and it was a very famous place.
Did you ever consider buying a summer home there?
A lot of people did. As a matter of fact, my sister Claire had a place there. We shared it once. We had a room that we rented out for the summer, and we shared it, and then somehow it didn't work out too well.
Did you guys get in a fight or something?
Oh, it wasn't a fight. It was just different ideas, you know, with cooking. And, you know, when you have your own little bungalow, like, you have to do your own cooking and shopping. It didn't work out. I think we only had it one season, that's all.
And you rented it or actually bought it?
No, we rented it. You don't buy it. Oh, yeah, some people probably did buy, but we didn't buy.
Huh. Yeah. So, did you and Claire stay close friends, even though you lived in different boroughs?
Yes, yes, we were pretty close.
Would you call her on the phone, or did you guys get together?
We got
sometimes?
together. There was not that much conversation on the phone at that time. We used to see each other.
Yeah. Where would you guys meet?
We meet at her house, at my house, or in the Bronx, different places. She lived down there. She had a private house that she bought. She had also a place in Connecticut.
Where did she get money to do that?
Well, she had some money. She saved, and she bought, and she invested very well, and her kids really collected on her. The place in Connecticut became very expensive, and they got a good sum of money for it. And also the house in the Bronx that she had, she did very well. She was a smart little woman.
What did her husband do?
Her husband, Charlie, was also in the dress business somehow, a cutter or something.
And did Claire, was she a dressmaker too?
No, she really never worked.
Okay. But she took care of a pretty big family, huh?
Yeah, she had a big family, and she somehow got a lot of money and saved it and invested in the right things. It was very cheap at those days to buy something. But by the time she was finished, those prices went sky high.
Uh-huh. Were her children your first children that you were around, or did you used to also care for your younger brothers?
My younger brother I used to take care of when I was still at home, but I didn't take care of him after he grew up.
But in Poland, was it your responsibility?
He was born here. Maya was born here.
Was it your responsibility or Claire's to take care of him, or neither?
It was nobody's responsibility. He was a child. My mother was able to take care of him, but I used to like to take care of him.
Yeah. And how soon did you have Diane after you and Grandpa were married? How long?
We were married maybe 2 years. Diane was born.
Why did you guys wait?
Oh, maybe it was less than 2 years. She was born, we got married in 45, 43, and she was born 45, 2 years later.
So, did you guys wait to kind of enjoy your marriage, or?
Well, we waited a while. We didn't want to have a child right away. We wanted to get settled down a little.
Mm-hmm.
And always having a child at 9 months.
Yeah.
So you wait a while.
Did you have my mom in a hospital or at your home? Yeah. And was there a midwife, or do you remember who was there when you gave birth to her?
Well, there were doctors, and they were whoever belonged to it in the delivery room.
Was Grandpa there?
He came after. Not while I was in labor.
Yeah. What do you think about it today, where women give labor and their friends and family or husband is in the room?
Well, I don't know if they allow it really.
Yeah, these days, like my sister Sarah, she gave birth and her husband was there, and
in the room,
and so was Joan.
Yeah.
And the doctor and the midwife.
No, they didn't do it in those days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think things have changed drastically?
Yeah, they changed quite a bit.
Yeah?
Well, time marches on. Things change. Nothing stays the same.
Is that okay with you?
I have nothing to do about it. I'm not involved.
Because you've been listening to, what's your favorite radio station?
CBS.
Uh-huh. You also listen to National Public Radio?
Yeah.
So, how many years have you been listening?
I'll say the last couple of years.
Yeah. And I mean, does anything make you mad that you hear?
Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, bad news is bad news, but I don't get myself upset over it, unless it's personal. It's nothing personal, and I'm involved. I pay attention to it, but I don't get upset.
Yeah. Was there ever a neighborhood campaign or anything that you got involved in?
Yeah, there are many campaigns in the neighborhood that I used to participate.
Do you remember any of the issues that they were fighting
Not
over?
at the moment, no.
Yeah. And did a lot of people, what would you guys do?
We would march down the street. We had, as a matter of fact, I once met Pataki in person. He came to the march, and I spoke to him, and he kissed me. It was very close.
Yeah. What was this, in the city?
It was right on the block here, on Norton Boulevard, and 90th Street. He stopped. I went over to him. A lot of people spoke to him, and he took to me. He was very happy to talk to me.
Do you remember what you said to him?
Well, we were talking about the issue, whatever the issue was at the time. I don't recall.
Yeah. And was he at the march to support you guys or to listen? Or?
Yes, he was to support us.
Okay. Was it a neighborhood association or the union that organized it?
No, it was the neighborhood thing.
Okay. Were you one of the leaders, or you decided just to come?
No, I was just a participant.
Yeah. And I mean, were there big problems when you moved in here, or was?
There were different issues coming up at different times. Don't recall exactly what the issue was, but it's quite a while ago.
Okay. Were there ever any problems with like mice or roaches or anything? Like, did you guys get a cat for that reason, or did you just want a cat?
No, we had an exterminator come up. We had a mouse once, so they closed up the pipes that lead with the heat, you know, the pipes they used to creep up on. So they put steel wool around there so they wouldn't come through.
Okay.
And since then I haven't seen them out. We have very good maintenance here. They really take care of things when you ask them to.
Yeah. Do you ever think about what your life would have been like if you didn't come to the United States?
No.
Yeah.
No, it never occurred to me to think about something. That never happened.
What about, is there anybody that remained in Poland that you remember?
Not that I ever knew of.
Yeah. So there's really, most of the people that you knew came
Well,
there.
most of the people that I knew were there, but we were not that close to, so you don't keep in contact with.
Yeah. Do you remember how your grandparents settled in Łódź?
How?
Your grandparents settled in Łódź, where they came from before that?
Yeah, they came from Celts, mostly from Celts, I would say.
Where is Celts?
Part of Poland.
Okay. And why did they migrate to Łódź?
Because it was a big city and there was more opportunity.
Uh-huh. Have you ever been to Celts?
No, I never saw it.
Yeah. And have you ever been back to Poland?
No.
Did you travel to any other countries after you got married with Grandpa?
Well, we traveled to, we went to England, we went to France, and that's about it. And we traveled this country. We went to Canada too.
Uh-huh.
When we retired, we did that.
Where, did you go to Israel?
Yes, we went to Israel too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what was your favorite place that you traveled out of France and England, Canada, Israel?
I guess Israel was the most favorite because there was a lot of personal attachment to it.
What did Israel mean for you?
It meant a lot.
Did it have a religious meaning or like a home or what?
No, like you belong there.
Uh-huh.
Like we Jews were part of it.
Did you go to Jerusalem?
Yes.
Did you visit the wall?
The wall. I remember that's the first place you go to.
Uh-huh. Did you guys rent a car or go on a tour? Do you remember?
I think we rented a car. We were able to get around.
And were you able to communicate with people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever speak Hebrew?
No, well, we spoke Yiddish, and most of the people spoke Yiddish, so we were able to communicate.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you remember about Israel being different from Poland or New York?
It was different, entirely different. It was a different country, a different place, different surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful.
Do you remember what part struck you as beautiful?
Well, mostly Tel Aviv we were in, and we went down south. No particular town, just we traveled around to see what it was like. It was a very interesting country.
Uh-huh.
Not too occupied, it wasn't too populated, the areas we went to.
What do you think about the situation right now?
Well, I think it could be better.
Yeah. Do you think the onus is on the Jews to do something, or?
Well, it's up to both sides to do something. One side cannot do by itself. Both sides have to cooperate.
Yeah. Do you think there will be peace? Do you think that there will be peace?
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
Me too. Do you have any friends that went to Israel, or did everyone come to the United States and stay here?
I have no friends in Israel.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And they don't speak. They adopted Hebrew as the official language.
Yeah, but you get along with Jewish. Speaking Jewish, you get along.
Yeah. A lot of people speak Yiddish.
Okay, Daniel, I think that's 10 o'clock.
Okay.
I think that's about enough.
Yeah, that was a very long interview. Thank you, Grandma.
You're welcome. You're
Okay.
welcome.